Ladies and gentlemen, our guest today is an absolute basketball phenom. He's a basketball trick shot extraordinaire. He's hung out with a crazy amount of rappers like Chief Keef and NLE Choppa. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest today is Tristan Jass. Enjoy. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the Tommy G Show. Today we have a very special guest, a basketball sensation, a businessman, and a good man, Tristan Jass. Welcome to the show.
My man, he said a good man. I like this guy. What's going down, Tommy G? How you doing?
Life is good. The first place I want to start with you is this. I noticed that in some of your wildest videos, you get very spicy on the court. So you go to basketball courts, you school people, and some people get very upset with you.
For sure, yeah.
So have you ever had a fight go down? And two, I guess tell me about if you ever had a sketchy situation happen because of you've schooled someone too bad.
Wow, man. We've had a lot of encounters with, lots of different, and it comes with pickup basketball, bro. Whether you're playing at a LA Fitness or you're playing in the hood somewhere on an outdoor basketball court, chances are you're going to run into a lot of competitive people. I'm a competitive person, so we've done one video. Actually, it's actually insane what happened in this video. We were just playing in a regular men's league basketball pickup game in my local town right here in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and bro, one of my teammates literally got drop kicked, bro, but he was on the ground. It was crazy. This whole thing happened. One of my teammates dodged a fucking punch, dropped back, swung and dropped this dude. So this dude gets dropped. He's on the floor. And then this other kid on my team, he was trying to break this whole fight up. Well, he got shoved to the ground and someone just literally winds up and kicks him in the head, as his head was like a football, bro. It was crazy.
Was he okay?
He was fine. Yeah, he was fine.
He had a resilient skull, huh?
Bro, he took that like a champ, bro. And man, it was wild. But that's just basketball, man. Obviously, shit happens. Obviously, I don't want it to happen, but sometimes it just happens. It's competitive nature,
So I guess I'm wondering this, and I've noticed when someone gets really yappy, most people that are really yappy are chihuahuas and really don't want to do anything. They're all talk and no walk.
For sure.
But there is always that threat of violence. When someone's up in your face, acting all aggressive. Yeah. What's running through your head? Are you ready to defend yourself? Are you ready to retreat? Are you ready to fight? How are you working through this situation?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on the situation. Mm-hmm. I've been playing, travel basketball my whole life, and playing in Chicago and playing in Milwaukee, really taught me how to play basketball at a fast pace. And I've had guys up in my face playing defense, clapping, all up in my shit. And I'm not sure, are you asking if in game, how do I react, or if someone's coming at me to fight me?
Do you have a plan when someone's up in your face, jawing at you, threatening you?
Yeah, for sure. I really, in anything in life, you got to keep her cool. Mm-hmm. I grew up luckily with a beautiful family. Mom and pops always taught me how to be humble through all the success. Really just stay grounded, and always keep your head on a swivel, obviously. But, yeah, man, you just got to, I try to stay calm. If someone's talking shit or all up in my face, whatever, let them do that shit. It's going to look great for the content. And then my whole thing is people love to see me get buckets, against people who are talking shit like this or who are up in my face. So I just got to keep my cool and remember at the end of the day, we're making content. So, I mean, this isn't the NBA finals. It's not that serious, bro. Yeah. We're literally just having fun trying to play pickup. But yeah, I try to stay grounded and just get buckets and let my game do the talking realistically.
So you said buckets. I know one of the organizations you're involved in is Buckets Over Bullies. Can you tell me a little bit more about that and what it means to you, why you started that?
Man, so we started a nonprofit charity called Buckets Over Bullying. And, there was this young kid in Chicago, 15-year-old kid. His name was Nate Bronstein. You can look him up. This is all over the internet. He was a young kid, played on the basketball team for his school, and in group chats with his basketball team, there's these text threads that people, coming at this kid, pretty much, get straight to the point. One of the kids on the basketball team told him, well, you should go home and kill yourself. Like, nobody likes you. Go kill yourself. 15-year-old kid, keep this in mind. This kid, sadly went home and ended his life due to being bullied that bad. And the messed up part about this whole thing is the parents had no idea that their son was getting bullied. So Nate, that young 15-year-old kid at the time, went to his school counselor and said, hey, look at these messages that I'm getting from all these kids. This is unacceptable. He showed his counselor this shit. The counselor never notified the parents. And within, however many days of him telling, the counselor is when he committed suicide. So I quickly found out through a good buddy of mine that this kid was a big fan of my basketball YouTube channel and a lot of the videos that we do on the internet. So I wanted to kind of use my platform to help this family get this story out there. And I also wanted to use my platform to save as many kids' lives as possible, realistically. Because, as a 15-year-old kid, at any age, you should not be thinking about suicide.
Did you encounter any sort of bullying when you were a kid?
I've encountered lots of bullying, being bullied, seeing people getting bullied, it's around, bro. And it's actually crazy. This whole thing is a whole cyberbullying thing. It's over the internet. It's not necessarily like so much, maybe there was a little bit going in person with this kid, but it was mainly cyberbullying. So what happened was I reached out to the family through my other buddy who knew the family, and I was like, hey, I want to do something. They reached out like 4 or 5 months later. Obviously, what they were going through at the time must have been, pretty insane to go through. So we eventually sat down and I was like, hey, I want to help. We did that next day or next couple days after I sat down with the family, we went to, I believe, Oz Park in Chicago. And I made a post on my Instagram saying, yo, I need everybody to meet me at this park at 4 p.m. or something. I forgot what I said. We get to this park and there's 100 kids there waiting for me. I think the kids think that I'm getting ready to play a pickup game when in reality I'm not. I have a microphone that I can talk through that everyone could hear me. And next thing you know, every Chicago news channel is at this event, and they're capturing this whole thing. And my whole thing was, let me show the parents that we could bring the community together just for a quick day. This is just a 1 hour thing. I could bring this community together. We could get the news channels out and we could, spread this message to stop cyberbullying, because it's taking people's lives. So we did this first event and it was great. The news picked it up. It was just great. It was a bunch of positivity. Obviously, what happened was so negative and was not supposed to happen. My thing is, if we could turn it into something positive and help save some kids' lives in honor of Nate Bronstein and Buckets Over Bullying and the Bronstein family, then if we save one life, we did our job.
I know that you come in contact with kids through basketball all the time, whether it's camps. I saw you with Giannis helping with a youth camp. You're doing this charity event. Do you have any sort of sense, because of your pulse with the youth, that bullying is getting worse over time, better over time? Do you have any sort of sense of that?
Yeah, well, I'm sure you understand how negative the internet is. Just people in general on the internet are just so negative because they're commenting shit through, a door that you're not face to face with somebody. So I think it's been getting, over time, it's getting worse with how everybody is every day on their phones, and people just talk shit on the internet. You know how that shit is, bro. It's you got to be like, I don't know. It's hard because I get a lot of negative comments, but
You do.
Oh, for sure. Throughout my whole career starting the social media,
they think you're too handsome or too cool or what?
Man, I don't know if it's the ramen noodle haircut or if it's, I don't know what it is, but I've definitely experienced a lot of, negative comments.
What can people say bad about a guy that's playing basketball, doing trick shots, and schooling people?
That's a good question, man. I don't know. I really don't bother nobody. I really just, stay in my own lane and run my businesses and, kind of stay out the way. So I've always thought the same thing, like, but that's just how people are, bro. It's sad, but it's like, I'm to the point where you could comment whatever you want on my videos. I don't care what you're saying. I'm so, like, it doesn't matter to me. You want to comment some negative shit? Do it. You're getting me more views and you're getting me more engagement. So thank you. You know what I'm saying? I look at it that way.
What did it take for you to become more mentally bulletproof on that regard? Because it is, even if you have 1,000 nice comments and you have one really mean comment, it's that you see that comment and it's not easy to let it go sometimes. What is your strategy or how do you work through that?
Man, I really think I'm really glad that I actually went through a period of time, because I started blowing up in like high school, like junior year of high school. We had probably, I don't know, maybe 50,000 followers on Instagram. No YouTube channel started, but people saw me doing the trick shots and getting posted on Sports Center. A lot of rappers, celebrities checking the videos out. And I don't know if that just sparked like a jealousy thing, or I really don't know, but I went through a period of time in high school where like the whole city, like where I'm from, like people were just hating, bro.
Really?
Just hating.
So was there any percent of the population that like, this kid's the man, he's making things happen for the city? Or was it mostly bad?
What do you mean?
Like I would imagine there was gotta be some people in your hometown that were like, Tristan's the man. It can't have been everyone in your hometown that didn't like you.
Definitely, bro. There was definitely, that select handful of people that were like, no, like, man, he's got some good shit going on. He's got some positive shit going on. But, there's always that group of people that are just, they don't understand, or they're jealous, or I don't know, bro. It's weird. And it's funny because a lot of the people that used to talk shit and a lot of the people that, used to make fun of the shit that I used to do. Like, I remember in high school, bro, people would go home on their lunch break and make these videos of like acting like they're doing crazy trick shots and post them up on like Twitter and shit to try to make fun of me. And like, I didn't understand why. Like, I never did anything to these people. Why are they doing this shit to me? So I kind of just let that shit fuel me, bro. Like, I wanted to prove everybody wrong. I don't care, what I'm saying, if it's an adult, a kid, whoever. And we did that shit, bro.
Do you plan on having kids one day?
Of course.
So if you had a son come to you and say, hey, I think I really want to try and make it on YouTube, or I want to become known, I guess, would that make you nervous as a dad, knowing what they might encounter on the other end of that? Or is it like, you know what, man, I'm going to encourage you, I'm going to help you?
Man, you know what? That's a good question. As a father, I'm going to let my kids do whatever they love to do. If they want to do YouTube and they genuinely love YouTube, great. I'm the perfect person to talk to, and I know everything about YouTube. Right? We've been learning everything from cameras to editing to back-end data, like reading, all the different retention charts, like back-end shit. Like I've learned so much about YouTube. So if my son or daughter was like, hey, I want to do YouTube, then shit, I'm right here to help them. Let's get it. But if they wanted to go play, hockey, do gymnastics, do whatever, then if that's what they love to do, then let's get it.
Yeah, I definitely think that as a parent, your job is to encourage your kid and let them unlock doors on their own.
Yeah.
I know if my kid wanted to do content like me, I would be really nervous for them because I think as a parent, it'd be really difficult to watch.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on what they're doing.
Well, how does your mom look at what you're doing? Like, what does she think?
She's incredibly encouraging and
supportive.
Yes.
Good.
Some of the ideas definitely scare her,
Mm-hmm.
but I think more than anything, her seeing me very happy and feeling like I'm living within my purpose really makes her happy, and I can call her about anything and walk through it. And she's, my mom is one of my best friends too. So
great, bro.
I'm very lucky in that regard. So one thing that we have in common is we both are kind of intermeshed in some weird way in the rap world, but even though we're kind of unlikely suspects to be in that world in the first place.
Yes.
Walk me through how, because I've seen you have some major rappers that you're hanging out with, doing things with. Name some of your favorite people you've gotten to meet on this journey, and how did it work out? Like, how did you guys even bridge the gap?
Man, well, I really believe that, hip hop and basketball, they've always just gone together, right? Like hip hop and basketball. I don't know. It just, they flow really well together. Every hooper wants to be a rapper, and every rapper wants to be a hooper.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they just go really well together. And over the years, as I started building a following, we've definitely have had a lot of cool rappers like reach out. We've done a lot of different videos with a lot of different rappers. It's really been a blessing, bro. There's so many to name, bro. We've done videos with Sosa, Chief Keef. We've done videos with Polo G before. We've done plenty of videos with NLE Choppa. Like, and they're all good people, bro. There's so many that we've done. I just can't think off the top. But those are a couple.
Rappers are kind of notorious for living pretty wild lives. Like, rappers get to experience things that, I mean, just when they talk about it in a song, you're like, holy shit, that's even a real story. Like, you had 15 women and 4 Lamborghinis doing this, doing that.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever encountered or gotten yourself into a really wild situation in this rap world?
Oh man, we have, and a couple of them actually. One that I can think of off the top is a very funny one. So, I was in LA, and I'm really good buddies with Blockboy JB, and he had hit me up, and he's like, "Hey, we're about to go hoop at Chris Brown's house," and I was like, "Yeah," I was like, "All right, cool, bet." Pull up on CB. We always used to hoop at Chris Brown's house when we're in LA. He does a lot of weekly hoop sessions. He's got a beautiful backyard with a basketball court that's like, there's like a cage around it. It's super dope, bro. And you're at the top of a hill. Like, just the views are
in
crazy.
In
the sun, we're hooping, watching the sunrise, or not sunrise, sunset. It's just beautiful. So one of the crazy stories I have, man, is we pulled up to Blockboy's, I'm not sure if it's his condo or if, I don't know where we were at, but we pulled up to some place. We hopped in his car, and we were supposed to be to Chris Brown's house in like 15 minutes to start this hoop session. Well, the GPS said 40 minutes. So I'm just like, all right, we'll pull up a little late or whatever, I guess. Nah, bro, that did not. We got there on time. And you want to know how we got there on time?
Driving like 160 miles an hour.
Bro, this dude Blockboy scared the shit out of me.
Did you think
bro.
You're going to die?
We're in LA traffic, bro. I don't know if you've ever experienced what LA traffic is like. It is not a good traffic. It sucks.
Did he go into that left outside lane and just pass everybody?
Not just the left lane. He went in. He was weaving in and out. It's like he was like a running back, and he seen the hole and he just fucking hit it. Like, it was like that. So I remember we were bumping music in there, and I'm just holding on for dear life. I'm thinking like, bro, if he clips one car or one thing goes wrong, we're dead.
Were you saying anything in the car? Or were you like, I don't want to think that I'm a pussy, so I'm just not going to say anything?
No, I mean, I wasn't thinking like, I don't want him to think I'm a pussy. I was just like holding on, and I'm just bracing myself just in case we fucking do go flying off the side of a hill or something.
Did he notice you and laugh, or was he just like, I got this?
Nah, he was in his zone, bro. He was actually playing some unreleased music. So that was super dope. And it was funny. We made a joke about it when when we were leaving Chris Brown's house, I was like, I'm calling the Uber, man. I ain't going with you no more. And it was just a funny joke, but yeah, no, that was wild, bro. I thought I could have died if something happened.
So I'm curious about especially some of these gangster rappers that have made it to the highest level, because at some point the street life you have to leave behind to, I mean, it's not worth getting caught with crazy shit that's going to put you in prison if you have a lucrative career ahead of you. And I would imagine they have to be very careful about who's in their life, what they're doing. Like a guy like or even how they move. Like I've seen videos where Drake has like 3-4 Suburbans in a row and they got a convoy. They go like,
yeah, bro.
Have you ever gotten to witness something interesting as far as how they move around?
Bro, I've witnessed so many things. I was actually I was at Lollapalooza. I want to say this was one of Thug's last performances before he really got locked up. So we were there. It was Thug, Gunna was there. Their homie Duke was there. You know, I don't know if you know Lil Duke. He's a rapper in there. Like their whole group was there, and that was one of the first times where I've seen like all of these Suburbans. There might have been 6 to 8 Suburbans, all blacked out, all bulletproof, sitting behind backstage, ready. Like as soon as, you know what I'm saying, they get done with their performance, they might chill for a little bit in the, you know, the tent area that's blocked off by lots of security.
Their personal security or hired security or both?
Both. Personal security is mainly with the artist at all times, and then obviously like festival grounds security that is like, okay, you can't get to this access point unless you have a certain wristband or whatever the hell it is. But yeah, they got to move like that, bro. I feel like when you get to a certain status like that, you have to get the bulletproof joints. There's so many people out to get these guys, bro. Like, and it's crazy.
If you could trade lives for any moment, and let's just say I could say, hey, Tristan, you're going to be a famous rapper. If you want it, it's almost like the red pill, blue pill in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Would you take on that lifestyle? What would you think about that?
Man, famous rapper. You know what? It's crazy. Before all this basketball shit blew up, I actually was a rapper, bro. Not even going to lie. I know you said you were a rapper, so we actually got a lot in common. But, man, I don't know if I would. It depends what type of, you know, rapper I would say. Like all these rappers are so different, and, you know, we're all humans and they all go through their own problems and shit and their own issues. I definitely wouldn't want to trade lives with a rapper who, like, there's a lot of people out to get, or a lot of like gang activity that
must be stressful.
It has to be, bro. It has to be. And that's, you know, that's why these guys have to move how they move. Realistically, it's crazy to say, but like they have to move with a gun, bro. They have to move, you know, being protective over themselves, because at any time or any moment they could be lacking and, you know, something crazy could happen.
I guess the way I look at it is whether I'm thinking of a famous rapper or a famous comedian, those, I think, on the surface level seem like very glamorous, wonderful professions. But to me, the behind-the-scenes grind of constantly being away from home, like I like having a headquarters.
Yeah.
Constantly eating food on the road, not sleeping very well, staying up very late at night all the time. Like I think it's a much more tough lifestyle than, like, we get to see the music videos where they have, you know, wonderful booties around their face and they get the, you know, they're having a great time. But I think the behind the scenes of it is actually a really tough job.
It is, bro. And, you know, I've seen a lot of the behind the scenes, a lot of the, you know, it's the shit that looks good. Like you said, the music videos, like all that, they turn out great. Not a lot of people understand that there's, like, you know, on some of these music videos, there's 40 people sitting there. There's a director in his chair. You know, there's 5 different cameras going on. Like, there's a lot of other shit that goes on behind the scenes that nobody really knows about to make these rappers have these images, you know, like everyone looks at these rappers and the gold chains, the iced out watches, the iced out, you know, everything. That's all like, that's their image. Like the record label is like telling them like, yo, let's create this image around you. And that's how you build that persona. You get the music videos like that. You get the fancy cars. You get the mansions. You get the girls. You get all that shit. It's just, it looks good to the viewer, right? So they're building this huge persona with all these rappers. It's interesting, bro. It's very interesting.
Do you have any sort of materialistic tendencies? Like, do you ever feel yourself falling into any sort of traps of acquiring to feel happy?
That's a great question. So I've actually, when I first started making money, I didn't really know, I was broke, bro. I didn't have shit in high school. My mom took out a fucking $7,000 loan for me to play travel basketball. Like, we didn't really have money like that. Shit, what was the question again? My bad.
Have you ever fell into materialistic
I got
tendencies?
You. So I started getting all this money. You go from having like no money. Well, I mean, I was always a young entrepreneur. I would buy and sell shoes and, make a couple $1,000s here and there. But like, I always wanted more. So once this YouTube money started coming in and all this other shit started coming in, brand deals and everything, I'm still in high school, bro. And I'm like finishing up senior year, and I'm already like, my first year out of senior year, we were like just a little bit short of doing $1 million as a business. My first year out of high school. So money started flowing, bro. And my first thing was, damn, I got to get the nicest shit to like shit on everybody who ever tried to shit on me. And that was a horrible mindset. It's horrible.
Probably similar to what some of the rappers are feeling too.
For sure, bro. It's like, the Gucci, the Louis, like it's all nice. Don't get me wrong. And every once in a while, I do treat myself. I might get myself a nice outfit or whatever. But like, I just, I would go to the Gucci store and blow $20,000. I would go to the Louis store and blow $15,000. Like,
did you feel pretty cool doing that?
Fresh out of high school, well, for sure. Like the people in there are like, what the hell? This kid has all this money. Like, this doesn't make any sense. But at the time, I wasn't educated really about money. I really wasn't. And over the years, I've learned a lot about money, bro. You don't need to go to the Gucci store and spend that stupid money. I was an idiot for doing that. I could have turned that 35 grand 4 years ago. It could be worth 100,000 right now. I would have been profiting 70 grand, bro. You feel me? Like, I've definitely learned a lot of shit, but you're right though. You feel good doing it. You look good. But looking back, I wish I would have known that the materialistic things, they don't really matter, bro. They really don't. It's nice to have money and to be able to do what you want when you want. It's always been a goal of mine. But like, man, you don't need to go splurge like that.
I feel like buying nice stuff is not so different than sex, which it's normal to go through a period of like, I'm going out there, I'm getting laid. And then you realize, oh wait, the thing that makes me happy is one partner that has my back, that I can trust, that I can build a life with. And I think it's the same thing with wealth is like, if you can use your wealth to create experiences that are happy for you or your friends or your family, but just throwing it down the toilet for the sake of it doesn't ever get you anywhere.
Yeah, no, for sure. And like, we go on multiple, like, we're getting ready to go to New York for a week and Miami for a week.
What's taking you out there?
So I'm actually going to do something with the New York Knicks. They're going to let me.
Heard of those guys, yeah.
Yeah, yes, sir. They're going to let me do a trick shot in the arena in Madison Square Garden, so that'll be dope. And then they're putting a basketball court on a cruise ship, so they're going to let me hit a trick shot on the cruise ship and pull up for a little event that they're doing with some, local kids of the youth and stuff. So I got to go there for that. Probably bring the whole podcast set up with, film a couple episodes with people in different cities. I'm sure you understand how that is. Then we go to Miami. I signed another deal with AT&T. I just recently did some stuff with them for the Final Four and the NCAA basketball championship. That was dope as hell. Had a great time. Shout out to AT&T. They must have really liked what I did for them for that event. And then they kind of reached back out and was like, hey, we loved what you did. Why don't you come down to Miami for this basketball fan appreciation event we're going to do? And that's what we're going down to Miami for.
So when you sign these deals with ultra corporate companies, is it, hey, let's see how one video goes or one event goes? Or are you getting like, hey, we want to do a quarterly basis, an annual? Like, how do those contracts look?
It really depends, and I have a great management team around me. I'm part of Long Haul Management. They're out of Los Angeles, California. They manage a lot of different basketball creators, sports creators, whatever creator they can, work with, they kind of do that. So good group of people, and they've definitely helped me as a business grow and create a lot of extra revenue besides the YouTube revenue with the brands and stuff. But in terms of like the contracts and the
do they want monthly deals? Do they want, hey, we're going to give you 3 events, we'll see how you do, see how it goes?
Yeah, for sure. So I actually just we did a deal. I think I did a 6-month deal with JBL. That's been great. So throughout those 6 months, there's different deliverables that I have to hit. There's different appearances that I might have to make. I just did a dope ass experience in Utah. JBL did this event on the mountain for professional snowboarders, bro. It was so sick. And part of my deal was I had to make an appearance for an hour and do an interview. That was just part of my deal that I signed with them for the 6 months. And it's cool because I never know who I'm going to meet or run into at these events, bro. I get there, I'm like, oh shit, I'm doing this shit with Angus Cloud. He's one of the best actors in the world right now on Euphoria.
Okay.
And huge fan base. And I did something there with Jordan Woods. And she was there. And I also did something with Josh Giddey, who plays on the Oklahoma City Thunder, I believe. So those guys are all there. So you go do these events. Literally, it's a blessing, bro. Like, I'm literally making money while I'm having fun. Like, it doesn't really feel like a job to me, and you never know who you're going to meet. Like I said, I meet all these guys, and it's like, what can that lead to? And you never know. It's interesting.
Where do you see your arc going? I mean, do you want to be hitting trick shots when you're 50? Do you want to be schooling people on courts till you're 50?
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself going as you get older?
Yeah, man, that's a great question. A lot of people ask me that, because 2018, when I graduated high school, I was supposed to be going to play college ball.
Where were you going to play?
So I had a bunch of offers. My first offer was from Elkhorn State, which is actually an HBCU, so a historical black college.
Yeah.
That was very interesting. I talked to the head coach a lot. He was a cool ass dude. Then I picked up like Southern Utah, a couple other like low D1s.
So you were on that borderline of like going D1 but also could have gone D2.
Oh, for sure. And then a lot of people don't realize, like, bro, if you go D3, D2, D1, NAIA, whatever you go, bro, it's a blessing. You still get to play your sport at the next level. I'm sure you get that with wrestling, right? You played what, D3 wrestling? Like, it wasn't D1, but you still got to do what you love to do. Like, I feel like everyone's so caught up on, I gotta go D1. So I was actually committed to an NAIA school in Arizona, and I called the college coaches on a 3-way call 2 days before I was supposed to hop on the flight and go to school. I was supposed to be the starting point guard coming in.
Wow.
And I'm a loyal person, so it was hard for me to. I already signed the dotted line and everything, saying that I was coming and everything. So I called them on a 3-way call, and I said, hey, I'm not coming anymore. The first week that I'm supposed to be at college, they want to put my crazy trick shots in a fucking video game. That's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that they're going to be paying me damn near what my tuition fucking would cost. I was going to be going on a little bit of a scholarship, but I'm just like, I would miss out on all of these opportunities if I would have went.
So did you have to go to a video game studio, get outfitted with like the...
Oh, hell yeah. We went out. We were in Vancouver, Canada. This was for NBA Live 19, I believe. But yeah, we did the motion capturing. We literally put my layup package in the video game, and it was super sick. But if I would have went to college, that wouldn't have happened.
What were the coaches' responses?
They were definitely pissed off. I mean, I was supposed to come in and be the floor general, bro, run the point. So, they were definitely pissed off for sure. I would be pissed off. I'm sure anyone would be pissed off. But they were cool about it. They understood a little bit. They were like, yeah, we get it, but it is what it is. The phone call it went decent. It was one of the scariest phone calls of my life, bro.
Were you nervous?
Very nervous. Very nervous. And at the time, I was living literally out of my mom's kitchen. Like, I'm no bullshit. Like, the little kitchen, there was a little side room to the kitchen. That's where all my clothes were. That's where literally the pantry damn near. Like, the pantry was in my, like, room, literally. Had a little setup for a little computer that I traded a bunch of shoes for. I used to collect shoes, buy, sell, and trade back in the day. Traded some shoes for a Mac so I could edit my videos on. And that's when the YouTube journey began, bro. And I had to tell the college coaches, like, yo, I'm making a little bit of money now. I really think I have a chance to do something big here. I need to take this chance. I need to take this risk. If I take a month off, or not a month, a year off from not going to college and the shit's not working, then maybe I could be like, okay, maybe let's go play some college ball somewhere. But I just, man, I had a vision for this shit. And
what did your folks think at this time?
Folks were like, it was a wild thing because my grandparents actually, the older generation, bro, they want you to go to college. They want you to get that education, the free, like, you're turning down a free education to do trick shots on the internet.
Yeah.
Like, my parents and grandparents at first were like, are you fucking nuts? Like, you're outrageous. Like, this is crazy. So eventually I got to, show my parents the money that I was making and my grandparents. So they were like, okay, but can you go to college and get an education and still make that money and do your videos and stuff? And I'm like, well, I'd have to be focused on practicing and, schoolwork and all that type of shit. I don't know if I'd have time. So, they weren't really happy at first, I would say, but I changed their mind a lot, like a month into it. I had one of my first events with SneakerCon. I don't know if you've heard of SneakerCon before. Huge sneaker convention. And so we went to this event, and I brought my whole family. I was like, fuck it, I'm going to show them in real life. Because, like, you got to think, like, in high school, when I'm coming home, after school and, I'm eating dinner with my parents and shit, like, how am I supposed to tell my parents, like, I'm kind of famous on the internet? Like, I'd go home and tell my pops, like, yeah, we're getting, like, famous on the internet. My dad's like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, right. Like, they don't believe that shit. So it was a cool moment for me because I brought my grandparents, I brought everybody to this event, and they saw a line of hundreds of kids freaking out to meet me and see me. People are having me sign fucking people's foreheads. I'm signing shoes. I'm signing, basketballs. So when they saw that, they were like, oh shit, he might have made the right decision. And that's, after that, the rest was history, bro. My family has been so supportive in what I do, and, they're always there for me, and it's great.
Can I tell you my one beef with basketball, and you can tell me if I'm on point or not?
Yeah, for sure.
It's the same beef I have with soccer, which is the faking injury thing seems way too common. Like, a guy will, like, flop over and act like he just got destroyed.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think about that? Because to me, it's like, you're a grown man. You're trying to tell me you're tough, but you'll lay there and act like you're hurt, and then you can get right back up and be fine.
Yeah, man. I mean, it is definitely getting worse in the sport. They call it flopping. I've seen a lot of NBA players do it. It's really just...
Are they respected in their own community? When you, like, if you're known flopper, are they like, this guy's a pussy? Or are they like, hey, that was a great flop?
Yeah, I mean, not... there's two ways to look at it. It's like, really like, okay, was this strategic so we could get a foul call on the other team? Or are you just doing this shit like too much? You know what I'm saying? And it's like just annoying at this point.
But is that an honorable way to win the game? If you
Probably
win because
not.
you got a flop.
Probably not. I think majority of the United States or of the world would look at that and be like, that's not, I mean, you could win off some stupid shit like that, but it's not like the respectable way to win, I would say. But yeah, that's a good question.
One thing that really fascinated me when I was a kid with basketball was I played NBA Street and absolutely loved it.
Volume 2 or 1?
Let me see. I know you could roll on the ground like there's Stretch was one of the guys.
Were you on the PS2?
Yes.
Same here, bro.
Loved that game.
Yes.
I loved watching And One Street tapes and the Professor and guys like that.
Hell yeah.
Is that kind of how you developed your love for basketball, or how did it come into your life that this is the sport of all things you can pick? You could have been a badminton star. Why did you pick basketball?
Yeah. Man, that's a good question. I started off doing gymnastics. Started in preschool, and that's where I built the foundation to really becoming like an athlete, bro. Like
huge for athletics is gymnastics.
Huge.
How
bro.
long did you do it for?
We started, I think my parents put me in it from preschool all the way up to like 4th or 5th grade.
And what was the coolest thing you evolved to be able to do? Were you doing front flips, handstands?
I'd be in 2nd grade at recess getting all the chicks because I'm the only dude out here busting out the splits. They'd be like, hell no, this is crazy. But nah, the flipping and shit was always cool, bro. I was, always one of those kids in the group that could always backflip, that could always do some cool shit. But back to like building that foundation though, I really believe that if I wasn't in gymnastics, I don't know if I'd be doing the shit that I'm doing.
One thing I've noticed about really successful people is they're able to kind of connect two seemingly unconnected categories, and then they mix it into one, and that's how they go on. So like how I see it with you is you can do all these crazy layups and acrobatic stuff that is directly influenced with your gymnastics. You kind of combine two things you're good at, and that's how you become unique within the...
Oh, 100%, bro. Without gymnastics, I don't think I'd be doing any of this shit. But like, so it went from gymnastics to, me getting into 4th and 5th grade, and I'm like, I don't know if, I don't know. I didn't feel comfortable with wearing the outfit and shit. I just was like, this is like, I don't know. If, like I see all the chicks wearing the leotards and shit, and then I'm looking at me and I'm like, damn, do I got to wear this shit too?
Was it a singlet for gymnastics?
It was like a singlet, and the male, we'd wear shorts and shit.
It was a little fruity, right?
I mean,
I was also in a sport where it wasn't until the UFC got as big as it did that I feel like wrestling got any respect.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, it was like, oh, just a bunch of dudes sweating on the
rolling
mat
around,
kind of gay,
Yeah.
But and then you had to, like, that was a big turnoff too. Like especially for growing wrestling in the hood, you have to switch the uniform because it's just too much of a stopping point. Like you have to convert to shorts, t-shirt, like fight shorts and shirts, and so. But that was a holdup for you was the uniform.
Not necessarily the uniform. I wanted to branch out, bro. If I stayed in gymnastics, I couldn't play football, baseball, and basketball because
round.
Yeah, because I'm doing gymnastics year round. I'm in the gym working on routines. Like I did it like we had tournaments, bro. Like I was getting judged by fucking people in gymnastics. Like this was like a legit sport that I was doing. So I wouldn't say it was fruity or anything. I just would say, I felt a little weird wearing that stuff, and then I wanted to play football, baseball, and basketball because all my friends at school would be doing that shit. But I would be doing it at school, like at recess. And because of the gymnastics, I was always faster, stronger, more flexible than everyody.
Great hips, which is important in sports.
Great hips. You hit it perfect, bro. Like, so then I started doing, the football, baseball, basketball thing, which baseball, I loved it at one point, and then it just kind of got a little bit boring to me.
A little slow of a sport.
It's a slow sport. I really like how they added this year in MLB. I just went to a Brewers game. They added like a shot clock, so it kind of speeds up the game a little bit. I really think that was, great that they did that. So the pitcher only has a certain amount of seconds to get the ball and pitch it. Like you can't stand there for a minute before you pitch, you know?
Spit on the ground, put a different snuff in.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. So I think that's very interesting. But I was a pitcher and I was center field, and I was super athletic. Like they say, the most athletic dude on the team usually plays center field. But like, bro, I'd be chasing butterflies out there, like sitting down, playing in the dirt, and then a ball would be hit to me. I'd catch it and throw it in, and then I'd get right back to just like throwing rocks at fucking birds or something. Like, I don't know. I just was a little bit bored. But football was a beast in football, bro. I was telling you a little bit about my best friend growing up. His name was Frank. We were the dynamic duo in football, bro. Like, this dude
hammer people.
Well, Frank was like the best wrestler in the nation for our age group when we were kids, bro. Like, this dude was a dog. Like, no one was fucking with him. So you mix wrestling and then you tell a wrestler, hey, we're going to put on some pads and you can fucking hit some people and fuck some people up. Oh, it was great, man. I remember I hit this kid so hard one time, his sternum cracked in half, and they had to escort him off. I don't know, and I'm trying to figure out who this kid is. I don't know who this kid is, but I hit him so hard, his sternum cracked in half, and he had to go off in an ambulance. But that was that gymnastics power, bro. That was that wrestling power that my buddy Frank had. Like, it was just different, bro. So I'm sure you can relate with the wrestling. Like, I'm sure you were fit and fucking,
And a significant part, like how wrestlers warm up, there's a lot of gymnastics mixed into that. So you know how to cartwheel, you know how to dive forward roll, you know how to walk on your hands. And so I think that's really big for developing an athlete. One thing I wanted your take on is another thing that the MLB recently did is, I don't know if this was a nationwide thing or just a particular team, but usually they cut off the drinking at the 7th inning, and now they're extending it to the end. And the arguments for it are they obviously want to increase liquor sales. The arguments against it is now you're going to have 20, 30,000 people in the stadium walking back to their car where they just had a beer in the 9th inning.
Man, I didn't even know that was a rule. So it was a rule that after the 7th inning, alcohol's done.
So they at least have maybe 20 minutes to sober up before they hit the highway with their family.
Yeah, and they changed it so you can continue to drink until the 9th inning. Damn, bro. I would honestly, I just was at a Brewers game. I left like at the 7th inning because, whether the Brewers were winning or losing, I just know that there's going to be drunk people getting in their cars. And, I worked my ass off to get my car. I love my car. It's a nice car. It was a very expensive purchase for me. And I just don't want it to get fucked up. So I do like leave a little bit early on purpose so nothing happens. But I think they should, as a business, I'm sure they're making a lot more money for sure. And that's probably why they did that. But in terms of like human safety and like really caring about, your customers, I don't know if that's a good idea.
Has there ever been a situation in your career where you have to consider the money you can make with the impact, or that you had to turn money down because it didn't make sense for your brand, or you felt conflicted about whether you should or shouldn't take it?
Oh, for sure, bro. I've definitely gotten, hit up to do brand deals, like 6-figure brand deals for, promoting like an NFT or a cryptocurrency token, like 6 figures, bro. Like big money, like low, maybe even a little bit lower than maybe like 75, 80, 90 grand to like promote a crypto token or a NFT or whatever. And I don't really like to do deals that can really affect my brand overall. I don't like to do that shit. I don't like to send my viewer into like a false direction.
Did you have a suspicion that it was bullshit? You just not understand it, or what made you say no to that in particular?
So the NFTs and crypto shit, I already knew like half these things are fucking scams, and you see all these people promoting this shit. Well, if I'm promoting this to my fans and all of my fans that get involved with this get ripped off, that's going to hurt my business. So I just knew, bro, I don't like to promote anything that is even a little bit sketchy. I did do a deal with the U.S. government, actually.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What was that about, dude?
Well, it was just to promote, people to stop vaping.
Okay.
So like I personally don't vape. I don't know about you. If you do, or if anyone out there vapes, that's your decision. It's not mine. My decision is, I just really don't want to put those chemicals into my lungs or whatever. But so we did this deal to basically promote like anti-vape, and there was a lot of people in the comment. I knew I was going to get comments of people like, oh, true, I'll just go smoke a joint instead, like shit like that. I mean, but like me, I'm a big person on the basketball court. Like I got to keep, my lungs nice, and I know vaping just makes that hard for me as an athlete to be able to breathe and all that type of stuff. So my decision is just not to vape. So I was like, yeah, this is some people could be mad that I might be promoting this because they vape, or, people could support it because it's a good look or whatever. I just did that brand deal because that was true to me. I don't vape. Maybe in middle school and shit, when those little vapes started popping off, like, yeah, me and my friends would fuck around and, try to blow O's and do like smoke tricks and shit. But like, I would never probably hit a vape ever.
Compared to the other brand deals you were doing at the time, how did the bag from the U.S. government compare as far as the offer?
It was, not too much crazier than what I've been getting paid, but it was a good price, and we worked with some great people, and it was for a good cause to help promote people to try to stay away from the vape to better their health. So I really don't think I was doing anything wrong by working with these people.
There's a lot of situations that once you get a platform, it's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like one thing that I was considering is I would love to do a video where I'm working with Green Berets or Navy SEALs or Delta Force guys.
Yeah.
And hey, if they offered me a brand deal, part of me thinks that'd be badass. Like if there's young men out there that would be really inspired to become a SEAL and that helped, part of me is like, that would be really cool. But the other part of me is like, am I going to help encourage a kid to go to some nonsense war and maybe die because, like where does it end? And
yeah, no, I feel you, bro. I feel you. That'd be sick though. Like people don't realize like the training that goes into some of the SEAL shit is like some of the most badass shit like ever, bro. It's so crazy.
I realize, I don't know if I'm somewhat brainwashed, like as far as my patriotism, like I love this country. I definitely think it's messed up. I think it could be a lot better. And I think there's a lot of nonsense that our leaders do. But like, well, one, like watching people that are willing to sacrifice their life for you, that always gets me a little emotional. And then two, I was watching the Boston Marathon or documentary lately. And after they arrested this kid, all of Boston started just chanting like USA. And that stuff makes me tear up, dude. Like when I see people get so... Because it's fun to see us unified, especially because we have not been unified as a country for so long. To see that, see people gathering in the streets and just hugging each other, no matter what they look like, who they are.
Yeah, bro.
I miss that, and I wonder, how do we get that back in this place?
You know what? We experienced a great time like that when the Milwaukee Bucks won the championship. Mm-hmm. Bro, that was like... I was at the game when they won. I brought my dad to the game. It was a great experience. But, like, after the Bucks won the championship, bro, like, everybody in that arena was, like, one big family, it felt like. And everybody outside the arena in the Deer District, I'm sure you're familiar with that, the Deer District and that area and shit. Like, bro, it was just, like, one big family after that shit. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, it's...
One giant cloud of euphoria was over the city.
Man, for real. 100%.
I guess that is one of the most remarkable things about sports is its ability to bring people together that ordinarily wouldn't be in the same room.
Bro, 100%. And when I like realized like, holy shit, like obviously this basketball has taken me so far in so many different places, seeing so many different cultures. One thing that hit me that was like, holy shit, was when I was in Japan with the NBA. We were out in Japan and I pulled up to a random like basketball court. I wanted to play some fives with like the Japanese culture and see what the street ball life is like over in Japan. So we start playing or whatever. and nobody spoke English, bro. I'm the only person that spoke English. All of these Japanese basketball players could have been talking shit about me. I had no idea what they were saying, right? But the cool thing is that really changed my mind, and I'm sure this is going to, you know, change your mind a little bit, is like, you know, me and the Japanese people, we might have not have been able to spoke the same language, but we both spoke the same language of basketball. We both knew what a jump shot was. We both know what a layup is. We both know what a pick and roll is. We both know, you know, we know how to speak the language of basketball, but we're not speaking the same language, essentially. You see what I'm saying?
100%.
So, like, seeing that in Japan was really mind-blowing. Like, I don't have to speak the same language as these guys. We're just hooping with this basketball. So the basketball shit is... It's unreal, bro, how much this like one sport can bring so many people together, no matter what you look like, no matter what your skin color is, no matter any of that shit. You feel me?
On that beautiful note, folks, this has been a fantastic conversation. Thank you for letting me use your basement and be on my show.
Yes, sir.
I had a wonderful time talking to Tristan. And guys, I think the takeaway here is, whatever the thing is that you love to do, find a way to connect with people, to overcome the petty differences that the media wants you to think about. Forget them. Just do stuff that you love, do it with people you love, build community, build memories, and that's going to be a recipe for a good life. Tristan, do you have any final thoughts you'd like
100%.
to say to the people?
Man, Tommy G, thanks for pulling up. Y'all better go subscribe to this, man. We got a lot of shit coming soon.
Gang, gang, baby. Well, hey, this has been an episode of the Tommy G Show. We will see you guys next episode. Peace.